he's my podcast partner?
I'm his podcast partner.
Does your wife know
That's the only thing we're podcasting. That's the only thing we're partners in.
My wife knows about it, and she doesn't approve.
I was going to
She
say,
objects.
Right.
We had to go incognito then.
I was going to say, yes.
Oh,
It's hard to promote. It's hard to promote.
She said she would approve if he goes trans. If he goes trans, then she's
Other than she doesn't care what you do to me, huh?
This is KZSB AM 1290. I'm Mark McIntyre inviting you to stay tuned for the Voices of Santa Barbara right after the news on KZSB AM 1290.
Oh, well, my mom's on the stream. Hey, Mom. Oh, here we go. They didn't hear you.
I know. You're gonna bring the tea in.
Oh, it's tea time, is it? Well, it's 4 o'clock.
Tea time, yeah.
This is the worst tea.
No, here we go. You can't hear the music, but there's music.
Okay,
So.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, raise your teacups, stick out your pinkies, because here we go.
Right.
And welcome back to Voices of Santa Barbara here on KZSB AM 1290.
The one and only place where you can listen to this guy, and every now and then you can listen to somebody
And you
even
see-
better looking.
You see, never invite an Armenian onto your show as a guest.
Well, unless you want to have ratings gold,
Especially-
unless you want to have a good show.
Especially if they're a starving Armenian.
Yeah. Oh, those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're actually live on Facebook today. Good morning.
Live on YouTube. If you want to be on,
Central Coast. Good
Hello,
morning,
everyone.
Central Coast. As you can hear, my loudmouth guest has arrived back from
Among
Washington,
other things.
D.C., where he has been a successful journalist, cleaning up the swamp.
Be careful. I'm cleaning up you. Be careful what you say. My mom's watching.
Your mother is watching. I told her to watch and listening too. My guest today is Alex Madagian. In case you don't know by now, and he's my podcast partner. So we're actually doing a podcast and Voices of Santa Barbara thing all in one right here. So we'll chop this up later.
Ta-da. Well, this is my private YouTube channel. Go check out my YouTube channel, alexmadagian.com.
For the three of you out there who don't know who Alex Madagian is, Michael Madagian is a resident, a native of Nolita, which is neither here nor there, right?
Or anywhere.
And you're 21 years old, correct?
As of now.
And you are a homeschooled individual?
No, I'm a self-schooled individual.
You're a self-schooled individual. How many books do you read a week?
All of them.
8 of them. Right. 8 books? One a day?
Well, give or take. Depends, is it Wednesday yet?
And you attended Santa Barbara City College?
That's right.
You have a 5 AA degrees or
something like that,
something
too.
like that, yeah.
You get, just for breathing on campus, you get a degree.
That's right, you get a degree. I got a degree the other day just driving by.
Oh, look at that.
I got a PhD in chemistry, by the way. I got a PhD and a minor in political science, the oxymoron.
Don't headline your resume with that. So, Professor McIntyre.
This is the worst tea in the world. Where did we get this tea? Oh, I brought it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate it. Now, a lot of residents hear your voice all the time on the air, and they want to know what on earth motivates you to go on the radio and broadcast your opinion for the world?
Because my religion is shameless self-promotion. I am the archpriest, the archduke, the archduchess, and the archbishop of shameless self-promotion.
Well, then can I be your pope?
Yeah, Duchess. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of going trans. It's the thing now. Going trans, and why not? Hey, listen, the kids are back to school. Speaking of transsexuals, the kids are back to school, and they're going back to be indoctrinated into how to put on a condom and how to become transsexual and how to overthrow the government.
This is true.
How to hate God.
Yeah.
So, hey, kids, have a great time there.
Right.
You know why I'm not disturbed about that? I am not disturbed.
I really don't want that question answered.
No. I'm not disturbed because you know what? The stupid kids are going to be indoctrinated, but the smart kids are going to laugh.
Well, the smart kids, the thing is, the smart kids are going to get bored and disenfranchised with school and education, and they're going to want to go on and do something worthwhile, and they're going to feel like school is a worthless waste of time. And frankly, the system is kind of proving them right.
Right. Well, most of them want to get out of school as quickly as possible.
Oh, I don't blame them.
Yeah, so they'll do anything. They'll say anything and do anything to get out of that school.
Well, hopefully they won't do everything.
Yeah.
But...
So Santa Barbara City College, by the way, which is committing academic and
fiscal suicide. Oh my word!
I'm writing an article about.
Well, it's going like 3.5 million in the hole.
Oh no! We just discovered it's almost $5 million in the hole this year. Yeah, and they're right at the safety edge of their what's called the reserve fund, and if they go over that, then the state can actually come in if they go below the reserve. which is $22 million. They have to have $22 million on hand to cover any exigencies, emergencies that come up. If they go below, you know what the state can do? The state can come in and close the place down. Actually shut the doors and take it over and put a state steward.
If the administration is not careful, within a year, Santa Barbara could lose its community college.
The doors could be closed. Yeah.
And this is, I mean, I want to be very clear here. We both rag about Santa Barbara City College in our private life and public life,
right.
But neither of us wants to see it close because it does a net good.
No, it does a very good job.
This is, there definitely are some troublemaking
it's the
teachers.
Leadership. It's the leadership.
The leadership is they're willing to bend over to
the staff. They're only interested in social justice warriors
and engineering
and hating America, hating Donald Trump. That's all they're interested in. Atheism, spreading atheism.
Evangelical atheism.
Evangelical atheism. But anyway, you're on the show to talk about you. Shameless self-promotion.
Well,
Alex and I do a podcast every day. We have
available on iTunes and YouTube. Alex and Mark Show. Right. Go check us out.
Apple Podcast is now the successor.
Okay, Apple Podcasts. Right. My apologies. Right. Sorry. Go sue me. Fine.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about you. Welcome back to your homeland.
Yeah, I'm not usually out here.
No,
you had to fly me in Special Express.
Right. After you got your 17 PhDs from Santa Bumpkin Silly College.
Yes.
After you did that, you took a gap year.
Well, a lot of people do.
It was either that or an insane asylum, right?
Well, yeah, it really wasn't either or choice.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people do some stupid backpacking trip across Europe,
right?
Which is nice, but I want to do something that would benefit me more in the career sense rather than the external. Oh, I was communing with nature and the rest of the socialists of the world.
Right now, so you decided against some very strong objections by some people, names far too prominent to mention, by the way, but you decided to go get in your car and drive across the country all by your little lonesome.
Oh,
and what was that like, by the way?
Driving across the country?
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrific. Yeah. I recommend it to absolutely everybody because
I've done it 5 times.
Oh, excuse me.
In a Porsche.
Oh, Porsche.
A Porsche.
That Nazi car. Excuse me. So, for me, what it was is like the longest trip I've ever done is from Santa Barbara to LA.
Yep.
Prior to this, so it was 40 hours in total. It took me 8 days because I enjoyed it. I'm too cheap for a motel, so I just camped along the way.
Can you imagine that?
I can, because I did it.
You can.
And I had a blast. I learned so much about myself.
You just park the car along the side of the road and then sleep on the ground?
Oh, I'm not a barbarian. There's campsites. I mean, they like to squeeze it dry. I mean, imagine paying $20 for
were there toilets and showers and things like that?
Oh, you're weak. You're weak. But what I really learned about, the big thing I learned is a lot of stereotypes we have about the middle area are just not true. They are in terms, if you're trying to run a PR campaign, sure, they can be true. But if you're trying to make friends and get to know that middle area, if you're trying to do something complicated, like be elected for president, or, you have to realize that there are certain, they all speak Christian. They're not necessarily all Christian. Right. They all have,
they're not Jews.
They're not straight. They're not all straight ticket Republicans, to be sure. They do have issues they care about. It's not just political, they're also, or religious, there also is some certain truths about America, just the general, Americans, get this, you'll get this. Mm-hmm. Middle Americans don't really want to deal with as much as they can. They want to deal with as little as possible.
Yeah, they want to have a life.
They want to have a life, they want to do their thing. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be working on the farm. Mm-hmm. It could be making sure your daughter's all pretty for prom or whatever.
Okay, so you had toilets and showers. Did you have Wi-Fi?
I love how you got priorities, boom.
Well, no, I mean,
forget existential problems or whatever. You go straight to toilets.
I know. Now, how were you dressed? Were you dressed to go camping? Because there's a group.
I was dressed gorgeously, and you weren't there.
Wait a minute. So you dressed as a lesbian?
I didn't bring my fashion designer with me. Okay, so I mean,
all right.
But I dressed quite comfortably. Thank you very much.
So it took you 8 days. You got to Washington, and I was right.
Yeah, I did everything from working as a.
You worked in the meat department, didn't you?
Yeah, the meat department of a grocery store. Absolutely, and sometimes I feel like I'm still there.
Didn't you drop a turkey on your foot? A frozen turkey?
Oh, that hurt. Oh, that was like a frozen rib. Like now I get PTSD every time I look at a rib.
Just like your phone from the Vietnam War. You dropped a turkey on your foot. I never did a turkey. It was a rib, a baby rib, baby back rib. It was frozen solid. You know,
Like,
Right.
how about I beat you over the head with a frozen baby back rib?
Listen, folks, if you're not aware, this is really what the Alex and Mark podcast show is like every single day. We're on every single day, and so
every weekday,
every week, right.
And catch us on YouTube. You make sure to subscribe and also follow us on iTunes.
Right, and send us money too. You're gonna have to send.
Oh
us
yeah,
money.
you also.
We have a new PayPal thing. We can send us some money. Anyway, but we can't solicit on the radio. You know that, right? We can't do that.
Well, we can listen wherever we go.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're about to take our first break. We just got you into Washington, D.C. So stay tuned and see what happens to Alex once he gets into the swamp. Right now, we're going to take a little break and come back here on KZSB AM 1290.
See you soon, folks.
Say hello to everybody on Facebook.